Hi friends. I've just got to say it. I wish that we were together. It's difficult and disappointing to be separated from each other in a time when we need each other so much. And especially during a time when we were supposed to be sat together celebrating our graduation. So, given the oddity of the times and in an effort to abate some of the challenges posed by this format, I decided to write you a letter. And I'd like to read it to you now. Dear friends, what a wild ride all of this has been. We've come to the close of our 3-year law school experience with an ending none of us could have predicted. The surreality of all of this can't be overstated. I'm sat in my backyard talking to a camera instead of celebrating in person with all of you. Coming to the end of law school and transitioning into what comes next is a complicated experience in the best of times, let alone in the middle of a global pandemic. Needless to say, this is not the ending that any of us wanted. The past several weeks have brought with them many losses, and I think it's okay and even important to acknowledge that loss. While we recognize that we remain very privileged and fortunate, and we're immensely grateful for our relative stability in such unsettling times, the things that we lost feel like big losses because they were big things. Graduating from law school is a big accomplishment, and so we are feeling the void left by the long and eagerly awaited ceremonies and celebrations acutely. Even more than that, we miss each other. The best part of law school is the people, and being separated from each other, especially now, is overwhelming. Nevertheless, we find ourselves here, in a moment unlike one we've seen before. In uncertain times, it's hard to know what to do or how to begin moving forward. However, I've often found gratitude to be a good starting point. And I'm not in a position just yet, and perhaps never will be, to be grateful for a worldwide pandemic. But I do believe that there is power to be found in tapping into gratitude, regardless of the circumstances we find ourselves in. I am grateful for you. I am so grateful for you, my friends, my classmates. I'm grateful for the time that we've spent together, for the memories we've made, and for the beautiful friendships that have blossomed over the past 3 years. Our class is special. We've been criticized by some for being too chill, criticized by others for being the gunners, but I think that we know that the bonds of mutual respect, love, and trust that we have with each other are unique and meaningful. Our class is made up of truly phenomenal individuals, and we are incredibly lucky to have each other as both friends and colleagues moving forward. I deeply believe that each of us has a great work to do, and that our capacity to do good and to serve others has been increased and enhanced by our legal education. I believe that each of us was brought to law school for a reason, and that reason has not changed because of the current circumstances, though our understanding of it may. Over the past year, I've been studying a phrase found in Esther 4:14. And who knoweth whether thou art come to the kingdom for such a time as this? This verse has anchored my soul when I've needed it most, and it seems particularly appropriate for the moment we are collectively facing. Though this unprecedented time is filled with uncertainty, added stresses, and anxiety, I can't help but think that we have been called for such a time as this. I have watched as you've navigated unspeakable challenges with grace and resilience. I've watched as you've served as caretakers for loved ones, as you've weathered trying personal storms, and as you've welcomed new life into this world. I've watched as you've selflessly advocated for others and as you've imbibed this world with hope. I've watched as you've cared for and supported each other with generosity and compassion, and I've seen you reach out and show up for one another time and time again. You are each remarkably talented, kind, and generous people, and I have no doubt that you will go out and change the world because I've seen how you've changed mine. It has been an honor to learn from you, to work alongside you, and to be touched by your goodness. Certainly, you have been called for such a time as this. It's long been suggested that one reason law school classmates become so close is because of the opportunities to bond over shared trauma. And given the upheaval we've experienced over the past few weeks, I think we are in the running to become the most bonded class ever. And when we get through all of this, and we will, I suspect we'll move forward with an even greater appreciation for each other and for our time in law school than most students ever develop. Perhaps we'll be the class that looks forward to reunions just a little bit more. Perhaps we'll be the class who truly appreciates the value of each other's company. Perhaps we'll be the class that sees the best in each other and understands the true gift of friendship. And regardless of whether we are known as the class of COVID-19 or as the class of 2020, we will forever be a family. While none of us wanted or could have predicted this law school ending, I couldn't think of a greater group to send out into the world to meet this moment. I have said for the past 3 years that your goodness and your capacity exceed description, and that has never been more true or more evident than it is now. I respect, love, and miss you all so very, very much. Here's to our graduation, and here's to what comes next.